Midday Kentucky Cooking segment brought to you by Creative Kitchen and Bath, where you will always cook in style.
Welcome back to Midday Kentucky. Chef Allison Davis here in the Wild Time Kitchen, of course, my home away from home. And I am cooking some Southern food today. We are just about in the fried green tomato season, but I couldn't find any yet. They're promising that they are just on the verge. So green tomatoes are kind of a Southern staple when you deep fry them, of course. And they are, you know, just the early crop before your tomatoes turn that nice ripe red. They're a little bit bitter when they are, you know, just raw, but they're firm, and so they hold their shape really well, and then you fry them and they just melt in your mouth. They're one of my favorite Southern specialties. And, well, I'm doing the same preparation that I would do on a fried green tomato. But if you don't have access to them, this is another great option. And my friend Jason Smith with Food Network star and Midday Kentucky guest host as well did this with us in a recent class where we filmed and we fried eggplant. So I'm going to do this, and he taught me another little trick I'm going to show you as well. But first, I want to talk about our setup. So I went ahead and salted our eggplant, and that was to bring out the moisture in our eggplant so that they don't get soggy when they cook. So I'm just kind of patting them dry and just letting that salt really pull the moisture out of the eggplant so that they will dry out. All right, then we're going to make our wet mixture, okay? So the wet mixture is going to be a couple of eggs and a little bit of buttermilk and some salt and pepper. All right, so I've got some buttermilk, I've got a few eggs. Put that to the side, and we're going to season that with a little salt and pepper, and I'm just going to whisk that up. So this is our wet coating, and then we go from our wet coating into a dry coating, okay? And then the dry coating is a combination. You really want to whisk the eggs really well just so that they're fully you know, mixed and you don't get like one big clump of yolk or white on one of your eggplants. All right, so this is a combination of cornmeal. I typically do kind of like a 2-to-1 cornmeal to flour. And then this was Jason's addition, and I love it. He takes a coarse ground grit, adds it into his breading, and I love that addition because it adds a little bit more of a crunch and a crispness to the outside breading, and everybody loves a crisp breading. All right, I'm going to add a bit of Cajun seasoning to this because you know I like it hot. We are definitely going to season our mixture with some salt and pepper because we do not want this to taste like flour, right? All right, we'll give this a little stir just to kind of mix all of that up. And now our breading kind of setup is ready. I've got some oil here that is nice and hot. We have used a canola oil. You could use an avocado oil or grapeseed oil, something that's going to reach a very high smoke point and not burn on you. So olive oil would not work for this. All right. So, I think somebody's trying to call me. All right, so then we have our eggplant going into our kind of buttermilk egg mixture right into our cornmeal grit breading. And then we're just going to lay that down in that wonderful hot oil. Doesn't that sound just make you happy? It's that sizzle, just perfect temperature on your oil. A way to check your oil to know if it's the right heat level is you can always use a wooden spoon. A wooden spoon is porous, so if you just tap that wooden spoon into your oil, it will bubble around it, and that will give you the indication that your oil temperature is ready for frying. All right, so we're just going to keep patting these up, and then this is just as good as it gets. You could do a little bit of like a remoulade on this. You could just serve this with a little hot sauce, in my opinion, and you'll be good to go. You notice I have a paper towel lined sheet for when these come out. I'm going to flip these so you can see how nice and golden brown they're getting. They are really going to be nice and crisp, and thanks to Jason Smith for giving me that tip on those grits in the breading. I will never not have, oh God, my dad will get on me for a double negative, but I will always have grits in my breading now. All right, so you guys know where to find this recipe. I will get this up with middaykentucky.com/recipes. Thanks for watching. I'm Chef Allison Davis. We'll be right back after this short break.